Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today it's late evening and we're getting ready to harvest my garlic. Now I'm really excited to harvest this year's garlic because I left a little more space in between them and I want to see how big they are. They are looking quite large. So let's see what I have. So here we are with my garlic bed, and I actually found a basket from a long time ago that I could use to harvest. Hopefully it'll hold everything that's in here. But I wanted to show you a couple of things first before we start the harvest. Now, as you notice, all of my garlic is lying on the ground, and I did that on purpose. About a week ago, when the bottom leaves started dying, I did what is called lodging. And it's always been the way that I have harvested garlic. I've never seen anybody else really do it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but my garlic will last over a year in storage. And so I figure that it's a great way to do it. What I do is I go through as soon as I see the leaves start to turn brown, and I knock the plants over. And then I leave them for another week in the garden without watering them. Let them start to dry down a little bit, and then I harvest them. So these are definitely ready to harvest. And I wanted to show you one other thing. And that's on this little garlic right here. If you notice, we've got a large bulb of garlic down below, and then we've got these little bulbules right here. These bulbules actually can be planted and used to start garlic for 2 years from now. Now, I get several of these usually every year, and I plant them around the outside of my bed. And these smaller ones, let me pull this one up and see what it looks like. Well, this one actually formed several cloves, but usually what happens is you will only see one big clove, one big round clove. You replant that, and then you get another garlic the next year. So let's start harvesting and see what my harvest looks like this year. Now we're going to start right here with one of my smaller bulbs. See what that looks like. Yeah, this one was another one that was one from a bulbule. So it looks like a lot of these are actually starting to develop cloves. Here's a larger one. This makes me happy. And as you can see, we did not leave it in the ground too long because the paper on the outside has not started to separate yet. We're not getting any separation, so this one should store really well. Got a mid-size one. It's like digging for treasure. Another mid-size one. Love these. Now here's one that I found that has no cloves in it. So this is all one large clove, and this was planted by a bulbule last year. And here's another one. Another good size one. Look at this one. Look at that one. That is huge. Now this is one that I will probably save until next year and plant the bulbs on this. So there we are, a large basket of garlic. Now I did not count it as I was pulling it. Maybe I'll count it a little bit later. I think I put 110 cloves in this bed, and we probably got about that much. They grew really well. Now what I'm going to do with this bed is I'm going to amend it, and I'm going to plant cucumbers here. Now my garlic, I do not grow specialty garlic, but all of this garlic has been grown from garlic that I grew in previous years. And the very first one that I got was probably 2009, and it was grocery store garlic. I got a couple of heads of that, and that's what I've been using since. Now I always, at this time of year, when I pick it, I choose the largest bulbs, and I put them aside so that I can use them to plant next year. And I usually save about 10 of them for the next year because I, on average, get 10 cloves of garlic, and I want about 100 more garlic for next year. Now I just laid these all out so you can kind of see the comparison of them. I did count them. I have about 100. I think this one right here is my biggest one. That is a large head of garlic. And that will obviously be used to plant next year's crop so we can keep getting large heads. I've got several large ones in here. A lot of average size ones and several small ones. And then we have 25 of the much smaller ones in here. So these, if they're like this one that's just one large bulb, one large clove, then the ones like this will all be planted out for next year also, along with anything like this. Now this is normally where I dry my garlic. I just line them all up on here and let them dry out, for 2 or 3 weeks until they're completely dry. But I'm developing this huge issue of if I have extra plants, I am not able to get rid of them. So these are sitting up here. Cucumbers will be planted in the next video in the same bed that the garlic went out of. This is all extra squash that I just can't bring myself to get rid of. Extra lettuce. Maybe I'll plant some lettuce behind the cucumbers so it can get a little bit of shade. But anyway, we're going to dry them somewhere else this year, and let me show you where that's going to be. Here we are in my excessively messy garage, but this is where I'm going to be storing my garlic. I have these extra racks from building racks in my grow room, and this is the perfect place to dry these. Now when I dry them, I am going to make sure they are dried so there is absolutely no moisture left at all in any of the leaves, especially up near the neck here. If you completely dry them out before you braid them or before you do anything, and I actually do not braid my garlic because I kind of feel it's a little too messy to keep inside to do it that way, but if you let it dry completely out, they store for a very long period of time. So there we are. Garlic is harvested and is drying again for the year. I absolutely love garlic. I don't ever plan on being without homegrown garlic, and I'd love to hear about your garlic harvests this year. Do they go as planned? Do you have any questions? Is there any advice you would like to give me? So I'd love to hear from you about it. Now, if my videos are helpful to you, I would love it if you would share them with your friends, hit the like button, subscribe, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.